Morning, everybody. It's 10:26 on the clock, and the 26, which is the Page of Wands, has been coming up like crazy all week this week. So there's definitely a reason we started at 10:26. Instead of the bowl this morning, I'm going to do my grounding forks. So I invite you to. You don't have to do this. You can skip through this part if you don't want to do it. But I'm going to use my clearing tuning fork first, which is very high pitched. That's the crystal tuning fork at 4096. And this is MediVibe technology. Then I'm going to ground you with my Ohm, which is 136.1. This is from somaenergetics.com. And then after grounding, we're going to do the Soma Energetics Love 528 Hertz. So if you'd like to stay for that, you can. If not, just go ahead and skip through. I have the 7-deck read on the table. I have an amazing Shaman Dreams message of the day. Really cool energy and messages that came through that, as well as a regular 4-deck message of the day as well. So there's some really unusual messages that came through that too. That was really interesting. You might want to stay tuned for that. All right, so first we're going to do the clearing energy. Just go ahead and take a deep breath. I'm going to hit it again 3 times because it's going out really quickly when I give it to you guys. And one more. That was really good, actually. As I'm doing my clearing visually, it was really clear this time with that one. All right, now we're going to do the grounding energy of Ohm, which is the energy of the universe, basically. Just feel very grounded. And now we're going to do the vibration of love. Again, this is the 528 hertz. Okay, and if you feel anything from any of the specific vibrations, please comment below. Let me know if you want me to use something more often. I will. Okay, so we're going to get into the Shaman Dreams message first for message of the day. I felt really inspired this morning with the new moon. I was just doing some cleaning that I never usually do. Actually, last night I had the plumber back here yesterday again, where I'm still not finished with it, but I just feel like they're really getting all the kinks worked out. With my water system, which has to do with our deep emotions. So my house, you know, I've been going through this whole thing with you guys, and it didn't start with my water heater breaking last October. It actually started when they started redoing the pipes in the streets last year. They've been doing that for the past couple of years, and I think they did my street last summer. And I had a house filter put on my house last year as well. So the pressure from the street pipes being changed increased the pressure to my house a lot. So when they just now, not when I had my water heater replaced, but the water heater after I had my air conditioner replaced started leaking, which it's not supposed to do. And then they tested the pressure, and the pressure was like 120 when it's supposed to be like 50. But I feel like it's, you know, when they changed the pipes last year, it increased the pressure to the house. So they had to put a depressurizer at the main, and they put the overflow tank on the water tank, which you're supposed to do with any new water tanks now anyway. So, but there's still some kind of like hammering going on, but it's not specifically hammering. It's like it sounds like, you know, there's air in the pipe where it's going boom, 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 boom. And it was doing that with the washing machine, and that we were fixing yesterday because there were issues there, but that didn't do it. Now the toilets flushing are doing that too, which weren't doing that yesterday. So I still need someone else to come back to figure out what that is. But I just feel like it's the universe really working out all the kinks in my water system so I don't have any more issues for a long time to come. Because this whole year for me has been about the water. And it doesn't go by the calendar year, it goes by your birth year, which starts from your birthday. And my birthday's in September, so it's really been September to September. And I'm in a 5-year, and whenever I'm in a 5-year, it's really native to me because my name is Evelyn. It begins with an E, which is a 5 energy, and there's energy in numerology regarding what vowel your name starts with. So I'm very used to that energy of change and excitement, and things that aren't always what we deem as wonderful things to go through are part of that change and excitement. And I didn't feel badly about anything I had to go through this year. I kind of expected it in the long run anyway, and I used my learnings over the past 5 years to go through my big flooding experience, and I didn't get upset about that either, which they were surprised when I didn't. So I've definitely learned a lot of my lessons that I've been going through the past 5 years, and now kind of going through reaping the rewards of that and understanding that it's just the universe trying to get me to a better place. It literally started with my basement, gutting my basement, water, clearing out the emotions from the root chakra, and working its way up and working its way outside my house as well, my connection to others. So my house is literally reflecting the cleansing that I'm doing for myself. So see how that's been working out for you, and yours may be different than mine because your numerology, your energy, your personality, your sign, they're all different from mine. I'm Virgo, and like I said, my year starts in September. And numerologically, I'm in a 5-year this year. So there's a lot of change for me this year. A part of the year, I go along with the collective energy because we're in 2022, which is a 6-year. So in the beginning of the year, I'm in a 5-year with the universe. But then in January, the universe goes into the 6-year where I'm still in my 5-year. So I'm kind of a little bit behind what the collective is doing. And for everybody, it's different depending on what your numerology is. And the year that you're in is based on your birthday. So if you just take your birth month and your birthday, not the year, but your month and day, and add it to the present year, you'll get the number of the year that you're in. Okay, so like my birthday's 9/18 in 2022, which will start in September this year. That would be 9/18 is 27 plus 6 is 33. So I'm going into a 6-year. I'll be in a 33-year in September. So right now I'm in that 32-year. So if you want to figure that out. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll the die for the twins. Like I said, I feel very super energized. And yesterday when I was asking about the water issue coming in yesterday, I was getting, because we were going to the new moon, that it wasn't going to get figured out yesterday because when we were having trouble getting to all of the issues, I feel like some of the issues that were changed yesterday, even though they didn't solve the problem, happened for a reason, right? So everything would be fixed in the long run. So they were telling me it wouldn't get finished until after the new moon. So it was part of the old was done yesterday, and whatever comes back now is going to be the new going forward regarding my plumbing system, again, reflecting back in my emotional system. So I cleaned my front door too because there was some splatter on there. I had no idea what the splatter on my front door was, so I cleaned that off. So yeah, I got really inspired to do a few things this morning I wouldn't normally do first thing in the morning. And let's go ahead and see what's going on for the collective here for the twin flames. Today is the 29th. I'm behind on myself here. So we had the new moon last night. So we're officially in the new moon energies now, but it's the 29th, June 29th, 2022. And we have the 9 coming up. So again, September's coming up again, which is the Hermit and the collective, the one and the all for one, one for all. It's also an energy of compassion and endings and being patient with yourself as well. We have here Leo energy as well. And I was just watching Little Leo King, and I haven't watched him in a long time. So I have mixed energies. So it doesn't mean he's wrong or right. It's just he's Leo and I'm Virgo, and I have Leo in my chart for sure. But it was something he was saying about just energetically about being more active and putting it out there. And you can't say that as a blank statement for everybody, because Leo, as in every elemental sign, errs on the side of their sun sign. So if you're Leo, you tend to err on the side of too much action or passion, whereas I'm Earth, I might err too much on the side of inaction or stillness. So it's different for everybody, and then again, you just don't have just your sun sign, you have your whole astrological chart. So you can't make a blanket statement for everybody. Here, so we have the north, it's not Leo, but this is Leo. That's funny that I said the wrong thing. So this is Leo. So the sign came up Leo, but this is actually the north node. It just looks like Leo. It's not though. Right, so these are planetary die. This is the north node, which is in Taurus, as you all know. So we have Taurus and Leo, which are fixed signs, and then Virgo, which is that articulation, that pivotal point. It's the mutable sign. So I guess I, as the Virgo, is being kind of like a go-between for the fixed signs, Taurus and Leo, which are coming up right here. Not me personally, but you see what I mean. The earth sign energy is, or actually the mutable energies, which is on the square of Virgo, which is Virgo, Gemini, Pisces, and Sagittarius are the mutable signs, but specifically Virgo is coming up here, is that articulation, the go-between, the mutable energy, the messenger, the go-between, the mediator, is going between the fixed signs of Taurus and Leo, right, which don't like change. So, and again, that doesn't mean all Leos and Taurus don't like change, because they have other aspects in their chart which make them, they maybe have a whole mutable chart except for their sun sign Leo. So it doesn't mean they're not mutable. So, having said that, we're in the new moon in Cancer, which is my rising sign, so I'm very much in my element. So there's a lot of emotions supposed to be coming up. I have a very water-based family. Both my kids are water sign. Their dad, my ex, is a water sign. I have Cancer rising, but that's actually the only water I have in my chart. I have a lot of earth. I have 3 Capricorn and 2 Virgo in my charts. I have a lot of earth. But my Venus is in Leo, and my Mercury and my Mars are in Libra, which is very different, right, in the way I communicate or express myself to the world. So, and it's frustrating for me too, because my Libra placement, and it's not that Libra is not a good communicator, they are, but Libra and Mercury is not a good placement for communication, which is a lot of the reason why I trip over my words, because that's, Libra's that energy of hesitation and indecision. So let's go into this Shaman Dreams energy. Let's see here. Okay. So here is the way I did it. I just did it organically. This is the underlying energy. This is the bottom of the deck here. And then I started here and brought the cards out as they came. So these two came out singly, these two together. This is all the underlying energy in the first column. And then this card, these 3 cards, this 1 card, 2 cards. And then this is the pile I had to count, which is 17 cards. And then I expressed the energies at the bottom and the top. Actually, I think I went through the whole section here as well. Some really cool messages came up with this. So here we go with this one. And so I did all these reads yesterday. And again, the Palmer was here all day, actually into the evening, so it was difficult for me to get my video out yesterday, which was fine. It just wasn't meant to be yesterday, so you're supposed to get it today in the new moon energies as opposed to yesterday, last night, which wasn't quite at the new moon, because here on the East Coast it was at, I think, 10:52 last night. So again, I woke up yesterday at 9:09, which I brought 9:09 up the day before that. So that portal is coming up as very significant, as we were just talking about September anyway. Today is Wednesday here, anyway, on the East Coast. So yesterday was the energies of the Two of Wands, or Twin Flames, and the Page of Cups, which is really beautiful, innocent, pure love, and the Twin Flames in that choice of path, or always being at that articulation, which is the binder of the book, right? Which path are you going on? And it's not about being right or wrong. You can't be wrong on either path. It's just about you keep pivoting, you keep dancing, you keep doing the dance, keep making the movement. Even if you're sitting still, you can still make that pivot or shift. That was really weird. I just saw like something in my left periphery. It looked like something was going into my front room really quick, and it was probably just reflection of my glasses, but it doesn't matter because there was a message there. Off to my left, it was going off into the front room. Oh, that's the other thing I got cleaned out. I had so much, both my parents died over the past 4 years. So, I have all the paperwork for their stuff over the past 8 years because my mother had Alzheimer's. So I had a lot of paperwork and files that I had to take care of. And I had a big pile of stuff I hadn't filed yet, which isn't like me in the past, but it is like me now. Like I'll get around to it and just do it all at once instead of doing it as it comes in. And maybe I'm going to switch back now again to doing it as it comes in, but that wasn't my energy over the past 5 years and going through my dark night. I really switched it up, whereas before I would always, reconcile every bank statement every month. And I kind of learned to let go of some of that. I actually found it very freeing to do that kind of thing back when I was working and always trying to stay ahead of the game because I was a single mom, always trying to, stay ahead of things so I wouldn't get overwhelmed because I always had things booked into every minute of my day. And now my life is very different from that. So it's about shifting when you shift, and there doesn't have to be any set way. What I believe in doing today may be totally different from tomorrow, and that's totally cool. All right, so getting into this message from Shaman Dreams. Oh, that was interesting too. So yesterday morning, there was a few videos I wanted to share on Facebook, and I usually put them on Facebook and Twitter, and some I'll put on LinkedIn, but not unless they're more professionally oriented or more masculine oriented. I might post them on LinkedIn, but I don't always post to LinkedIn very often. But the song that I told you about that Cindy had posted from Awakening to Spirit, she does a tarot card channel. She's very funny, actually. But she had, when I was on my vacation, her feed came up in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep all night, and it was right at 4:44, where my dream come true came up from Frozen Ghost. It's a Canadian group, and I wanted to post that song on Facebook since it was such a beautiful song. And so when I wanted to post it on LinkedIn too. And when I went to post it on LinkedIn, when I just posted something to LinkedIn and I had no problem, it wouldn't accept the song. I tried like 3 times and it wouldn't take the song. Very interesting. That was at 10:28 yesterday morning. So the 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, the 28 is the Twin Flames again, and that Wheel of Fortune, a turn for the better, and that choice of path or staying present in the moment, and perhaps just observing and taking it in. And then I did this read at 11:03 to 4, which is the 11 of alignment, of truth and balance, and then the 3 and the 4 of the Empress and the Emperor, the dance between the masculine and the feminine type of energy. And the underlying energy, like I said, that bottom card was dances on one foot with the number 9, again, the Hermit energy in September. And underneath that was the Moon Maiden and the Stranger with curiosity, wanting to jump into the water. The Moon Maiden is literally holding up the world, but in that high vibration. So she's underwater holding up the world, which is really easy, right? Because you're underwater. Whereas the Stranger of curiosity is sitting in a dark place next to some water that looks very interesting, and they're actually doing finger writing, which we talked about too, and he's deciding whether he wants to jump into that or dive deep. And so this is the feminine, the Hercules energy of her harvest. Hercules taking over for Atlas to hold up the weight of the world, but now she's in a higher vibration, so it's easier for her to hold up the weight of the world, while the masculine decides whether or not he wants to dip his finger or toe into that deep water of emotion to see what's in there. And that came up with the 41 of the feminine and self-love, spiritual love, new love. And then the Stranger's number was the Knight of Swords, of that messenger of truth, and Knight in Shining Armor energy. And then we had on the bottom of the deck, the dances on one foot. So that's the balancing act of the feminine in their Hermit energy, but both of them in their Hermit energy, being the one and the all, going within and connecting to the collective, and then holding the light of the weight of the world, while the Stranger, Knight of Swords, is curious about diving into that water with you, as I just talked about my whole experience with water over the past year, in the Hermit's balancing act. Love of the Knight of Swords and the Hermit. The first card out here was at 11:11. So now here we have alignment again of the Empress and the Emperor. The first card out, and this line of cards had Gemini as the energy of the line. That was the only sign that came up specifically. Came up with the wheel, the Fortune's wheel, which is actually Libra as well. We had the 23 of the King of Wands with her luck and right timing, which is the masculine side, with the 432 hertz, which somebody was bringing up yesterday, that 432 is the natural energy as opposed to 440, which is the distorted energy, right? So they showed a picture of the energy of 432 and 440 and the distortion of it, which this Wheel of Fortune in this deck literally was depicting that distortion. So remember, the 432 hertz is the natural energy that is positive, the 432, and that the 440, which there's a lot of controversy over, was the distorted energy. So Hercules or Hercules, which is the energy of her harvest, and a lot of air sign here with Gemini and Libra, destined to take on the load and carry that weight of the world. The gathering around then came up with the 26 of that Page of Wands, which is like that excited teenage boy energy, the power of the community, and the glowing mushrooms. So maybe we've been gifted that energy that we were supposed to get. The glowing mushrooms in the water were coming up with the fairies and butterflies, the underwater gifts of collective emotions coming in. And then the me-talks of doing a detox or just pampering yourself with the 39 and the Knight of Cups, loving yourself and loving others, just being love, the active state of being love. So if you're still, you can still be doing something. That was coming up along with the tidy house, which was very much my energy this morning. Doing something for yourself and pampering, but also cleaning up at the same time. I was also getting the energy of my sister-in-law for some reason, and detoxing, and she's very much of a minimalist. It doesn't mean that we all have to be minimalist. You just need to be in an environment that is very symbiotic with your energy and what you love around you. And for everyone, that's going to be different. And of course, it feels good to have things cleaned up and energy flow being really balanced around you. But, like I said, it's not about being a clean or neat freak at all. I mean, dirt is nature, number one. And number two, my father was an inventor, and his office was never neat. And he had a very abundant life. So I don't want you to think that you have to be like other people. You have to be like you. Do what really makes you, what floats your boat, what makes you happy, what makes you feel inspired every day. And for some people, that's minimalism. And for others, maybe you want lots of beautiful art around you. It just depends. Maybe other people, it's about what you wear every day. Some people, it's different for everybody. So don't let somebody else tell you what's great for you, what makes you feel good. So again, the tidy house and the me talks of repair and organization in what makes you feel good, taking care of yourself and your home as the netcaster of the Two of Cups, that one-to-one energy. And the tree house was coming up as my mom coming through, because I was talking about my front tree looking like my mom with her legs up in the air. Like her saying, it's my house. I'm the tree in front, right? I'm its owner. And the perfect storm was coming up with the 44, which is that energy of the Atlas in a social sense in my numerology book, the Divine Triangle. But it's also the boredom and apathy, but grounding and integrating and mastering how to receive love. Because boredom and apathy isn't boredom. It's time to be still. But we're programmed to see it as boredom and apathy. It's actually a good thing to be still at times. We need that balance. The perfect storm of the 44 of learning how to receive love, and sometimes that means being still, preparing to step into life. With new love of the King of Wands and the Page of Wands, the Knight of Cups, Magician, Divine Masculine also as well coming up here, being love, and this play of fire energy between the King of Wands and the Page of Wands, which can be a father and child, or him feeling like a child again, like a teenager again. And the Knight of Cups, the act of being love, and the Magician manifesting dreams, and the Divine Masculine. And I was actually dealing with the Divine Masculine yesterday. Connecting the Two of Cups, the one-to-one, to ground, integrate, and master the receiving of love. The net and the crow / peacock bird here, in the eagle's nest, so it's the combination of all three, not just one or the other. The crow, like the ground crew of the 5D gate holders, the peacock of loving yourself and allowing yourself to shine your light, right, of the peacock, of the beauty in you, but also grounded in the eagle's nest, that place of power up on the mountain, high above, in that high energy. So then 42 and 44 are actually two of my makeup numbers, right? So you have a number from your soul number, your outer personality number, your destiny number, and your life lesson number. And you can ask me for your numbers if you like. Your life lesson number is just your birthday, and there are specific ways to add things up. But your number for your birthday, your life lesson number, you don't break down the birth date and month day, so you keep them as the whole number. So if it's 18, you don't reduce it to 9, you keep it as 18. But the year you reduce to a single digit. So if it's 2022, you're going to use a 6. But if it were like 1961, like my birth year, you'd use the 10 and 7, which is 17, and not reduce it to an 8. Did I reduce? Let me think. 27, 37, 40. Yeah. So it reduces to that 17. So you'd add the first two numbers of the year to the second two numbers, right? So that 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 7 is 17, but for the day and the month, you keep the whole number. So if it's a double-digit number like 12 and 18, you keep them whole. So you'd add them to 30, and then this year would be 6. And that would be your life lesson number. For your soul number, when you do the vowels and consonants in your name, you keep all of those as a single digit. So even though A is 1, also Z would be a single digit as well. So Z is 26, but you'd list it as an 8 when you're doing your soul number and outer personality number. So the vowels are your soul number, the consonants are your outer personality number, but there's certain letters like Y that if they have a vowel sound, they're a vowel, but if they're silent, they're a consonant. So there's some little exceptions there. But you can pretty much figure out what your soul number and outer personality number are. And then the two of those added together is your destiny number. And then I told you your life lesson number. And then your power number is the single digit added between your destiny and life lesson number. So that's how you find your basically 5 your main numbers that you keep during all of your life. So my outer personality number is 42 and my life lesson number is 44, which both came up right here. And again, you're preparing your body and your house for what's coming up next. All right, for the new. So this is a big new moon here. At 11:28 then, which is justice and the twins again, the second line was about the skywriting. It's like the symbols and the synchronicities. The 31 of the chaos of energy coming in that you're molding, you're transmuting, the fates, into the transmuting the ending into the first breath of the new beginning, taking the 21 of the completion of the world and coming full circle and taking that first breath of the new beginning. The beginner's mind, like the perpetual student of life, that page of pentacles type of energy of curiosity. The spirit of the river and the number 50 of the emotional fulfillment and happy family, and the magician's sword of the 37 of being unconditionally loving. And then the energy of closing the door with completion, but with the number 5, which is all about freedom, change, and expansion. So we all know with completion comes automatically that new beginning. And Pisces and Taurus was coming up in that second line. The faded signs of the stranger and the finger writing that he was doing in the picture, which just came up in my message the other day. The Knight of Swords is curious to get their wish. Coming full circle means a new beginning and a fresh perspective, with the 10 of Cups family and movement toward adventure, with the King of Cups 37 of unconditional love and the Magician's sword of Excalibur and the confidence in your magic. The freedom to close the door in order to expand and change and go into freedom. The Knight of Swords manifesting their wish for self-satisfaction. That's that self-knowing, self-awareness, that if you are happy alone with yourself, you can be happy in any situation. And it's 10:55 on the clock, which is that turn in your favor of the truth and Excalibur. And it was just 29:09 on this clock, which is being present in the moment to your gifts. And that 9 of all for one and one for all. So the Knight of Swords manifesting their wish for self-satisfaction in simultaneous completion and new beginning of that first breath of the child towards family emotional fulfillment too, with the King of Cups and unconditional love. Closing the door to prior commitments, guidance, and societal norms that no longer resonate with you. The third line, and that line had Virgo, Sag, energy along with the King and Queen of Swords, which are very much coming up as the energies to be in as the masculine and feminine. Good is that 52 energy, which is the the angle of the pyramids, was not actually 52. It's 51.84. So it's between the Queen and the King of Swords, erring on the side of the light, which is 52. So closer to the feminine than the masculine. The Garden of Eden, the Hermit energy of the Knight and the Knight of Wands lighting the fire. The 17 cards at the bottom of it have the 52, again, that I just brought up, of the feminine, the Queen of Swords, straddling worlds with one foot in this world, one foot in the next, of the Queen of Swords. And at the top of the pile is the Woodwives of adapting from pain into bliss of the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is upright. It's trying to end the pain cycle that you've been in. But when it's reversed for me, it's about all the swords dropping out of your back, and that is the bliss of relief of pain. So understanding and being comfortable with adapting from one to the other with the Woodwives, which is interesting. I was just cleaning wood this morning. The Woodwives of adapting from pain to bliss, and the Will o' the Wisp, which is 62, of the Eight of Swords, which is adapting of the masculine from the imprisonment to the releasing of themselves, allowing themselves to be free from anxiety and stress. The Will o' the Wisp, by the way, I was listening to Will Smith talk to David Letterman last night on Netflix about his life. And by the way, he's Willard, not William. And his middle name's Carol. And that there's a lot of things he was talking about, but one of them was doing 14 ayahuasca journeys in Peru, which I'd actually talked to that Divine Masculine about yesterday. So it was really interesting, that energy coming up, of letting go of imprisonment. So there may be a lot of Divine Masculines wanting to try something like that, or doing a past life regression for the treasures hidden in the shadows that they have been unaware of, and perhaps wanting to get on that train. The 10 of the Deep Diver and Destiny, jumping right in. So there's that curious man kind of dipping his finger or toe into the water to see if he wants to dive deep into those emotions, which an ayahuasca trip, is, Will was talking about an 8-hour journey. Whether they want to jump right into those emotions with the 51, so here's the King and Queen of Swords coming up, the 51 as the stars in the sky, the masculine focused energy of limitless possibility as they come out of their winter's dream, which is the dark night of the soul, the 63, of trying to end the nightmare, not being able to, through the galactic mushroom, which is number 24 of the Queen of Wands, the divine matrix, and Will's sun was coming up, like in the Drifter and Castaway, right? And the ball being his friend, but Will's sun and the Drifter and Castaway, and those are the two cards, is the Will o' the Wisp and the Drifter, at 1146, which is justice of the twin flames, the inner children of the Six of Cups loving each other, and the 14 of that higher love experiencing life as it comes, as the Drifter just floating down the river. So at 1146, we then came to the crossing card, which is that half of a tree bridging from one side to the other, the 54 of the Page of Swords, which is the message to be brought to the other side, in a message of initiation. Half of the tree bridging, and along with the hollow bone, which is about hollowing yourself to be more humble, allowing source energy to flow through you instead of willing it, the 28 of the twin flames and that choice of path, hollowing and humbling oneself to dance without use of your head in the crown games, which literally decapitates in that card the ego energy of the crown games, and the right use of power, which is the divine masculine, in the 8 dance of power. As the horseman, which also knows how to manifest dreams, though, so there's the positive and negative aspects of that masculine energy. Of course, there's many wonderful, beautiful energies about what the masculine energy can do. The heralds in change and lights that fire of inspiration, of the union, of the 30, of the home, and then getting into the root girl, which is the 46 of the inner children, of the inner little girl who's disowned herself. I might need to answer that, so give me 1 second. Hello?
Hello, good morning. This is Rotover to Plumbing, calling in reference to the request that was made for a plumber to come out today.
Yeah, he was out here yesterday and he couldn't fix the issues, so he's going to send somebody else.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that for me, please?
You were out here yesterday and he was not able to fix the issues, so he asked somebody else to come out.
Yes, ma'am, and we have a plumber on the way.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Sorry about that, but my plumber's on the way, so if I have to ditch you in the middle of this, I'll do a second part, okay? So the Page of Swords, going into the root girl now, of the inner children. It's that energy of this. I love the picture of this card, is the little girl as the root of the tree, you know, and the little girl being so upset and disowning self, and your children are expression of you, and it's coming up as your children's expression of that. So how are your children behaving regarding disowning themselves, and how can you be an example for them of shifting that? The wounded warrior, 35, losing their way and getting back into their integrity. And in this card, it was actually 9:50 on the clock, which is the Hermit's emotional fulfillment. In 17 cards of dreams coming true and the Eye of the Needle, the focused intention. Intention. In Destiny of the Shun, TION, is the tiger lioness of the twin flames, the masculine tiger, the feminine lioness, and the stars, healers, and dreams come true. Intention was also coming up as in, and then the number 10, TION, comes up as in the ocean, which literally is in the ocean. It also is coming up as intention was coming up as I in the Christ vibration, and IO was coming up, which is EO, which is I in Italian. The tiger, the lioness, and also Richie and Chelsea lately were coming up, which came up in my read the other day. So the high Christ vibration of I am in the tiger lioness combination with Richie and Chelsea, which is coming up as chill C. So in the chill emotions lately. So Richie and Chelsea lately. So Chelsea late was coming up because the energy of someone being here late yesterday was coming up. So anyway, it was all pulling it together. But in the ocean is in 10 with the number, and then TION, comes up as in the ocean. Whereas intention, the way it's normally spelled out, is literally in turning the light on, or in turning source on. Intention, just like I say intuition, because ION is connection. The twit is the two T's of the Twin Towers with you and I in between, and for intention it's the same word except those two letters in between the Twin Towers is different, where EN for me is actually code Jesus, and actually with the capital N it could be JC. So very interesting the way those words came up yesterday. So getting back into integrity with the 17 cards and dreams coming true, the Eye of the Needle, the focused intention. The destiny of the tiger lioness, the stars, the healers, and the dreams coming true, the 45 of the purging and repairing the veil, the softening of the connecting of grieving and forgiveness between them, the sewing of the quilt, the softening of the feminine side, right? The veil that she wears when she gets married softens her look. The corseting, she does the corseting of the pages, and the tree trunk, you know, she's corseting it back together like you'd pull a corset. Sewing circles of the divine masculine's intent focus, of stargazing and star power, the channeled vision through the eye of the needle of who they are. And this is the masculine squinting and the feminine and the soft energy. And the other perspective of the divine feminine lacing her corset on and tying a bow at the end, along with the softening of the veil. And so you now see the ceremony of the masculine being very focused in his tuxedo, you know, and then allowing the purging and overload of energy pulling tight of the feminine's corset to get the fluid out, forgiving self for allowing it in there in the first place. The swell of emotion, not wearing her veil, that Eve removed when Adam, with his conditions of love, left her stranded and removing her veil, and Spirit's connecting with me. The impurity of the betrayal. At 12 o'clock, right on the dot, and now forgiving him for not understanding that her bite in the apple was her curiosity and her need to explore and expand, to seek new horizons, but always wanted to do that hand in hand, weaving back and forth in their love and desire, as love for self in a twin always leads directly to love for their twin, and thus felt by them. He needed to open up his field of view, and she perhaps tightening the reins of her corset. Home on the range at 12:04, the hanging man and the emperor, the dust devil of the addictions and codependencies, kicking up the dirt of that home on the range, that desert, to move out of the stagnation, the horse nation, the masculine nation, the dust rattling worlds. The 52 of the Queen of Swords, wandering between realms with one foot in this world and one foot in the next. The King of Swords, 51, of the star and that focus of limitless possibilities. And the 52 of the Divine Feminine, of being in both worlds simultaneously. And again, the angle of the pyramids at 51.84, or whatever that specifically is. All right, so that was... that was your Shaman Dreams message. And now I have a message of the day too from the 4 decks that I normally use. If I can get my phone back on here. All right, so this is my 4 deck read that I normally do. It's my traditional one, although I do different decks as I feel guided to. So we have the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit at the top, and then we have the KIPPER deck. I reversed the order. KIPPER deck's here, then the Gilded, and then the LENORMAND Reverie here. These are the underlying energies of all 4 decks. It starts this pile, this pile, this pile, this pile, and then this and this are the last. Sorry, I keep moving it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's how the read goes. All right, so this was done at 11:33 last night. Actually, this was done the night before that, 11:33 at night. So the earthworm, the main male, so maybe the main meal, maybe a focus for some of you, or maybe the main male needs to feed themselves better. And death coming up in the loving man, which also comes up with the twin flame energy and the Ace of Cups of being very loving. So Ascension was also coming up with the shun of the tiger lioness, and so I was looking up Ascend, which was coming up ASEN as the rock or stone, but also to roast, grill, plague, or tow, the donkey, the ass, angry, noisy, naggy, arsenic, she-ass, Jenny, and rib were all coming up in the union of the tiger and lioness, right? So both the light and the dark of the intention and the ascension. So at 11:33, which is justice and the Christ vibration, the 7 of Wands, standing up for oneself, the intestinal distress of the main male, in the end with the loving man, twin flame. So whether this is him transforming within himself or ending something in order to become that loving man, or ending something with another loving man, the black egg speaking their truth, their throat chakra, and the otter here is curious. It's like that Page of Pentacles energy. The otter's curious about that bat lost in space, with the hard worker beaver, who gives a damn, on the ground as the hyena slinks away upset. Blotter babe, black babe, bow babe was coming up, as well as hearing to the nth degree the worm. Oh, and that's something else I wanted to bring up too. I'm going to show you what vitamin it is. I got a parasite vitamin to try because we were dealing with some issues with of not being able to figure something out for a long time. And then also my daughter's dog ended up getting worms this year. So we kind of wanted to try a parasite or worm thing for clearing because we've always had kind of weight issues and that kind of thing. And just wondering because no one ever tests for worms when you go in for issues. So we found a natural cleanser for that. And I wanted to show it to you because both my daughter and I have done it. And I'm actually going to get it for my son because we both feel lighter and literally weight-wise. We both, she's been told that she looks thinner ever since she did that. And I literally just finished it and I feel lighter as well. Like I'm not holding the water anymore. So I wanted to show you what that was. Because I was actually going to send it to my son as well to give it a try because we've all always had a little bit of weight issues in our family. So, and there's something that always stuck in my mind too. When I was a little girl, I picked up a straw in my backyard and I sucked on it like little kids do, and it was full of dirt. But it's just something as simple as that, could put a worm in your body. You just don't know, and no one ever, has your doctor ever brought up worms to you? I've never heard my doctor ask me anything like that. So anyway, I'll show that to you if I stop or or my next video. But that's coming up here again. Here to the nth degree, the worm and intestinal issues. The blotter was coming up as the flasher exhibitionist, the register of arrests, the desk pad. The blot is the stain or blemish, the disgrace, a sacrifice perhaps. And Bobaba was coming up as Yubaba as well, which means my father. And then babe or baby was coming up, B-A-B-E, as the boy, the child, the father, brother, the close male relation, the darling, attractive person or infant. The register of arrests and close male relations, the flasher babe or the black darling, the main female, number 2, receiving the dream gift from the main male, number 1, sharing with the 2 of cups, that one-to-one energy about a split at work, and the need of strength in the end, with Leo reversed, Scorpio upright, and finding a way through the maze after wise, peaceful union, with good luck or with any luck, home with the High Priestess, Divine Feminine, the King of Swords sharing suddenly with Pisces and Scorpio children, and the Knight of Cups taking a risk on committing to new passion with romantic Cancer pup, and the Ten of Cups family making their way through the maze to the loving lady present with gifts, cracking codes of the Ten of Pentacles, dream world or family, business, or community with the twin flame loving man, with truth, love, and secrets held between, the community of twin flames in union with the King of Swords, in luck of the stars, sharing inner and outer children, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, Scorpio and Pisces, and Sag coming up with a Cancer pup energy, which can be like the moon energy now, right, as well, the new moon, and the Cancer moon child, type moody child, coming from far and wide to be with their lovers. And it was definitely the feeling of union has been coming up so much this month. The first section is the camel, the unicorn, and the cosmic egg. The independent camel, blue and unicorn in the dark, looking back with the collective awakening to the light. The camel couple, and in the Emperor's courtship, resting with child in transition, the Page of Swords. The blue Cancer moon, and the Emperor's courtship in the 5D is born. The unicorn mature man, I was just getting a Star is Born. The unicorn mature man of the world, free Knight of Pentacles offering their help at the new moon. The cosmic egg awakening to the wounded warrior, the journey of moving with the King of Cups, Father Time. Resting with the Knight of Pentacles, the humble loyal servant at the visit. And the second section is the tiger, the horse, and the lion. And there's your tiger lioness with the horse between, which always comes up as source energy, as Mr. Ed, or extra dimensional. The TION, or Tiger Lioness combination, and Mr. Ed between, as the tiger with message of concern. This can also reference a Sagittarius that's been blocking the twins. The tiger with message of concern, imprisoned with wise counsel, pairing of the grounder and the Divine Feminine flyer, the horse Divine Feminine 28, expecting and ready to fight, cracking the whip with Libra and Justice and the Page of Pentacles, opportunity. The Lion with the Queen of Wands, Thief, recovering from Twin, Divine Masculine with new love. The Saggy Tiger and the Leo Lion, and Libra balancing act between the two. The Imprisoned and at war to recover at 1237, which is the Hanging Man and unconditional love of the King of Cups. The third section here is the Elk, the Cheetah, and the Sea Serpent, or to see the serpent. The elk is coming up as the hot-headed one, right? The masculine who hasn't eaten properly, who's normally really nice, but then becomes a real ass when they haven't eaten properly. The false person or masked people, this can be the tango between the man and the woman, as the King of Swords reversed is afraid of public judgment, and the cheetah is hermiting these changes, holding on and pushing away their burdens, or that Atlas energy of the weight of the world. The sea serpent with the Capricorn lovers suddenly released the burdens together. Dancing between Virgo and Capricorn lovers, with the King of Swords reversed, keeping their cards close about sudden events. Hold on one second, that's my other plumber guy. Oh, he just disconnected. That's okay. Okay. So the Sea Serpent, Capricorn lovers suddenly releasing the burdens together, dancing between Virgo and Capricorn lovers, the King of Swords reversed, keeping their cards close about sudden events. And there could be two boys also fighting over their pregnant girlfriend. It doesn't have to be that specific situation, but the same type of energies of that. The fourth section is the oyster, reflecting swans, the fox, and the raccoon. Clammed up swans, the fox and raccoon, similar ears, but not much else. The oyster home in judgment needing to swallow their pride on a blissful, abundant trip here, with the swans reflecting and sailing in space, the Six of Cups children, inner or outer, loving each other, inspired by risky letter, document, or creative writing. The fox coming full circle in the empty room, with the Ten of Pentacles family, business or community or legacy of heaven on earth, and the Emperor's home with the King of Cups. The Emperor can be the King of Cups or be with a King of Cups. The raccoon Page of Wands, which is that fiery, teenage boy type of energy, is excited, with great fortune, struggling for a way out in a breakthrough of the King of Wands. The oyster may be Aquarius reversed, Taurus, with Pisces, Aries, Capricorn, and Gemini there, and no announcement with the Six of Cups loving children or soulmate with legacy of chains. It's like the passing down through the family of the chains that we hold on to. The Empress traveling to the Emperor's home, keeping a journal of inspiring messages to break through with the lovers along with the King of Wands and that Man of Passion energy, which could be that hothead elk. The fifth section is the cobra, the hawk, and the golden egg. The teacher clearing the way for the golden child, or perhaps that golden nest egg, and the cobra keeping the child with the cobra's coming up as the King of Cups. As the King of Cups child, though, right? It could be a grown child, withholding from Sagittarius wounded warrior, who may have had issues in the past with them, or fox, where they're both running away. The hawk is clearing the docket for adjudication of union or home, and the Queen of Cups, Juliet, is longing for a closer look, grounding, integrating, and mastering the receiving of love. The nest egg of the official man on the journey, and the High Priestess with an open heart, the power woman with gifts and truth, watching for news. At 104 then, where my Nat showed up, which means unforgettable, and Nat King Cole, the King of Cups withholding from the Queen of Cups, Pisces and Sagittarius, and the wounded warrior coming to check on a lady perhaps, Aries, Pisces, and Sagittarius here. The sixth section is the bunny, the mouse, and the vulture, with Libra, Virgo, and Leo in 12-sign read today. The little ones with a grandparent, or the bunny, the man with sudden thoughts of a woman, and good news for the Queen of Cups repairing bridges. The mouse with sudden wealth, and justice of not knowing the wounded warrior suffering in silence, or about a sister who's in that victim mentality. The vulture and death inspiring freedom from work for the wounded warrior destined to make cuts or discernments and nest the dream with the Queen of Cups. Scorpio, Libra, Leo, Sag, Cancer, and Aquarius all come up here, with good news, a surprise inspired from one who's on their last leg, the Queen of Cups and the wounded warrior, freed by death perhaps, or an ending with Leo, or a threat of such at 114, which is the Magician and the Temperance card of that higher love, and manifesting, being able to manifest really well. So I think I'm going to bring you up I'm going to give you my other 4 decks, the same 4 decks, because some really interesting energy came up in this other read, and I thought it was in the first one, but it's not. It's in the second one. So I don't know if I have a picture of that for you, but I want to give you the messages, so I'm going to do that. Let me see if I have the picture or not. I might. No, I don't. But I always tell you the cards from these decks anyway. So this one was done at 6:06 to 6:08 last night, the 28th, right before the new moon. Now we're in the 29th and in the new moon. It was 6:06 to 14, really, which is the lovers and the higher love of the Temperance card. The underlying energy of the black egg, the man with concerns, the star reversed, and the fish, an energetic exchange with the King of Pentacles and the 34 energy, which is that energetic exchange with the 8 of Wands. The truth of the man with concerns about martyrdom, being depressed, the King of Pentacles in abundant energetic exchange, or perhaps in a heated exchange. The horse is being like, the horse can be the Sagittarius energy too. The horse is like the moth to the flame, with the dragon keeping their eye on them, the wise bird with the truth. Perhaps there's a homosexual doctor, OB specifically, that was coming up here, or a doctor who's a wise black egg, or a horse sees, the horse, which is referencing the Mary Magdalene energy, the horse sees the MO of them to the nth degree. Drag owing black egg, and this can also was coming up as someone in drag as well. A man with sudden thoughts of a woman. The main female high priestess receives a dream gift from the main male, the magician with the Queen of Cups working hard, and the King of Wands off to the courthouse or for supplies, or the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands both taking care of official paperwork, hermiting the changes, with shadow lover or Virgo or Capricorn with concerns about unity consciousness, looking for a way out for the man or to the man with concerns. The Empress is upright in bliss, with the King of Swords upright, dumping multiple loads or responsibilities and looking at leaks perhaps, or no longer confused why the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups are both reversed or depressed, or why their message of love and passion here have been blocked or misused, I was just getting now, or without hope. The loving woman is present with truth, all locked up with codes and inspired to crack them with the loving man with a rose, twin flame 28, with wise community of the divine feminine, hanging out, being prudent and reaping rewards, making choices and chasing away the dark mother energy, or the Queen of Wands thief energy, and needy things, or needly things as well. The Pisces, Cancer, and Capricorn pushing burdens away, as Atlas is sharing or settling out with public imprisonment or judgment and releasing themselves from it, with Aquarius, Libra cracking the whip with the Page of Pentacles, or new undertaking with the Queen of Cups repairing bridges and pipes perhaps, with the King of Pentacles in abundant energy and exchanging or dealing with water or fish. The first section is the otter and the bat, the curious and the spaced out. The otter, worldly man in transition, or Scorpio, Sag, patient angel in spiritual, peaceful, mature union as the King of Swords. The bat with message to deliver, making sure it's sealed or making sure it gets to the correct recipient, the Page of Swords with the light and the Big Bang or theory. The sudden event between two soulmates, the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, with Scorpio, Cancer, Sag, and air signs all here. The second section is Cobra and the worm, tarantula. The teacher intimidating the student at crossroads, or maybe the student just feeling intimidated by the teacher at the crossroads, or having trouble making a decision. The cobra on the wounded warrior's path with the soulmate and her kids and leaving for a higher love. The worm is aligning with sudden wealth, or nervous about being the Knight of Cups and being or offering love, to take a closer look at what we've got. The tarantula exposing death, dark night, ending or encasement, or finding the sun, or the silver lining by meditating, taking breaks, or being nervous about getting their heart broken, or perhaps dying from a heart attack. Now that the lovers, I'm just getting the vow of the lovers as well, but now that the lovers exposed in a breakthrough of the King of Wands, Sagittarius, Libra, Water, Leo, and Gemini or twins all here. At 6:43 is the lovers and the Three of Cups. The third section of the lamb, the eagle, the hyena, the lion, where's that one? The lion, the something, and I'll tell you that in a minute. The gazelle, the deer, and the vulture. 6:44 is the lovers and the grounding, integrating, and mastering of receiving of love. The lamb and the lion with the eagle and hyena between them. Right? And the eagle in this deck can be very triggering, and the hyena is the one slinking away who did something. All looking forward to the sewing circle, coming round, or meditating, or meditation group. The lamb, the gazelle, and the deer one are watching me or are here present, but the eagle, hyena, lion, rabbit are more focused on the vulture who's looking for slim pickings, or the old eagle perhaps, or they are all waiting for that old bird to keel over, or all lined up for adjudication, or to get free legal counsel, or financial counsel, or perhaps getting a check, or help. The lamb is the target here at the big house, or gated community, or the house of judgment by third-party lady present with gifts and truth, or bad influences, and a lady judge. And Judge Judy was coming up. The eagle is literally trying to collapse the hyena into the lion, or perhaps a bumper-to-bumper accident in traffic, and the eagle is being impatient and the hyena is being a jerk or shady. The eagle, King of Cups boy is needing to swallow their pride and take a risk to be more loving. The hyena with the emperor's courtship, showing no affection as the angry man perhaps just dumped or duped, or the lover took them to court. The eagle could be a court guard as well. It's like they're herding all the people in, right, to see the vulture judge. Perhaps this is a child support line or a crackdown and getting everyone to line up if they want to, kind of get a deal on paying up on their child support. The lion is inspired by unexpected income with all tools on board, manifesting well for their children in transition, or Gemini Page of Swords child, and the rabbit who keeps spreading their seed. So these are all the different energies in line for child support. There's all different lines here coming up. Here's the rabbit who keeps spreading their seed, or a message of concern about all these traffic tickets, and their mom's going to kill them and hoping they get lucky when they get to the judge, or they get out of this ticket, hoping the judge is feeling generous today. The graceful gazelle with expectations of the twin flame, or getting them to split into two lines here with no fighting. Calm down, as the hermit Queen of Swords with flowers or gifts, or all in line to get her autographed, or a book signing here. The dear one is a nurse or aide with no peace at the hospital, expecting them to work overtime or to go to lectures and get credits and be happy about it all at the same time, at all times. Or the dear one here lining up to get stuck and not happy about it. But work is forcing them to do it, and the government says it's the right thing to do. The vulture here at the end that they're all looking toward is at home being the judge and the jury. Complaint after complaint of the Page of Pentacles reversed, in need of help, money, or opportunity, or thinking they're wanting something for nothing, or coming to see the wise birds, the grounder and the flyer, and how to reap rewards like them, or dancing with the stars and being judged. One can stay, but one must go, or trying to get past the bouncer into a club, or in line really early to get concert tickets at 7:06. It seems the vulture is the one to see, if you can get on their schedule, that is. Step right up to see the show. Yup, it's for real. They've come together. Or released from the big house by the eagle guard, Don't let the door hit you in the ass as the King of Cups boy leaves the Emperor's courtship inspired by income or incoming message of a higher love at 7:10 of the Chariot and that higher vibration of destiny, and the twin expecting them before death or final judgment. Lamb target at the back of the line, all a sham to get to them. There's no joy at home with the power lady who choked or spoke too soon, or holding back an announcement or calls about a breakup, lack of affection, or Aquarius and Gemini both reversed, and not present at the magician's death, or showing up at the last minute, or when they least suspected them. A big fight or a brawl might break out, or competition to beat them all. There's no peace or no travel for the Page of Pentacles reversed, or opportunist butting in to the front of the line. Gemini or Virgo upright, Scorpio upright, in front of Aquarius and Gemini both reversed, who may be pissed off because they butt in, or lover's number wasn't called, only theirs. So this could be a couple split up. Power lady taking a risk with the power man and transition of the child, trying to set them or get them into a school, and this is someone trying to use the powers that be to get leverage over the general population, right? So this could be parents trying to get their kid into a school by butting into the front of the line, or getting someone into a show because they know someone, having pull, or the child star being taken back the back way around with lots of flowers and wishes, perhaps at university on graduation day, and all lined up for those wise owls to give them a diploma. That will finally bring them peace or opportunity. Someone else telling them how much they're worth. The vulture, the judge, the opportunist, and wise counsel, all in lines, and some awakening in these lines to the fact that they don't need to be there, that there's a better way, or ran into someone unexpectedly, or the little lamb is being used to get in. Perhaps the Knight of Cups Scorpio must be escorted in or out, and the Queen of Swords Hermit may be trying to bring flowers to someone in the hospital, but there's a line to get in because they're screening everybody, or someone sneaking a child in past the guards to see someone before they die or pass at 7:25, the Chariot and the Knight of Wands, because no one's listening anymore. They're doing what they know is right. The fourth section is the star and the cosmic egg, the lead and then the rest. Right? The leader, the one who tells you what to do, and then the collective. Or the star helping wake the collective on the ground side by side, the star Knight of Cups with the crowd, but then they ghost them to beeline out of there with just a quick appearance only. The collective burdened by the pie in the sky promises, and the Knight of Pentacles with the family with options, or thought they'd tried all their options, but everything goes back to the trunk or the root of it all, or thought they were out of there, and then discovered something else to try or another way in there. One ghosts and another comes in, Gemini and Taurus perhaps. At 7:41, which is the Chariot and the Ace of Cups, the fifth section is the tiger, the elephant, the wolf, the octopus, the hawk, the phoenix, and the bee. The tiger's on the prowl, seeing the empty family room and wondering if it's complete yet, blinded by the light in a journey of timing being just right, and perhaps the mid-moon or after the new moon tonight, or Pisces stalking Cancer and unaware, or vice versa, and the elephant inspired by great fortune and triumphing over the field, but ends up being ungrounded instead, trying to solve the problem. The wolf is stunned or dazed and confused, or perhaps they got caught in the headlights, the false person or masked in the dance of the masculine and the feminine in the tango, and feeling like a failure or needy for attention, or being shady and now just focused on getting out of work or free from martyring themselves. The octopus and the mainframe of the tentacles, which is there's so many things in this read that came up in the movie that I watched late last night with tentacles and all this other kind of stuff. The octopus mainframe extending themselves in many directions, with the mature man of the world committed in energetic exchange, or the back and forth with the King of Cups in overtime or in a timeline crunch. The hawk clearing the way for high vibe journey, the wounded warrior on the last leg with well wishes and diving deep and needing to self-love. The phoenix is rising for abundant marriage of the King of Wands, Dr. Jekyll and Hyde with Sovereign doing the dance, the carpenter or busy bee hovering, and the thief Queen of Wands is wandering. Who's at their window? And there's that who coming up. At 10:54, the destiny of the Page of Swords, the tiger, the elephant, the wolf, and the octopus watching on me here with the hawk clearing the way to rise, perhaps a hovercraft outside the window, or a thief looking in, or everyone watching to see what happens next. The empty room of great fortune inspired by false person dancing with the mature man on high vibe train to marriage or commitment. With the wolf and octopus looking for the gravy train, keeping to themselves unaware at night, the Page of Wands is at war and ungrounded, seeking attention and energetic exchange with the wounded warrior King of Wands, suffering in silence, or perhaps a sister with the Queen of Wands here. The Cancer wounded warrior is ungrounded but free, the King of Cups with time to dive deep for self-love and dance with Leo Queen of Wands and the Page of Cups Cancer, 1-to-1 with the Two of Cups, with direction to the King of Wands, who may be dealing with rugrats, pests, or a big mess to clean up, standing up to them, and the Knight of Wands committed to new passion with the Queen of Pentacles on the Fool's journey, with Pisces, Sag, Leo, Taurus, Libra, and Aries here. All right, I'm going to leave it at that because I know that my plumber is going to show up in a minute, and I will bring you the 7-deck read when I finish with that in a separate video. Okay, so rise and be love. I'll see you soon in a minute. I'll see you.